His mother stored up all these things in her heart. Today we celebrate the memorial of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And we hear the role of Mary's heart clearly described in this gospel. That Mary is storing up these things, they don't say in her mind, in her intelligence, that she stores up these experiences in her heart. The Gospel acclamation, we have the Blessed Virgin Mary who kept the word of God and pondered it in her heart. We're reminded again in another passage. In a number of situations we're told about the heart of Mary. Mary's heart's not like the heart of Jesus. It's not a pierced heart that offers sacrifice, but it's a heart that brings those experiences of God and the experiences of the world deep to her and makes sense of that in her love. And I think our hearts can be modelled after that heart of Mary. Yes, it's important to model our hearts after the heart of Jesus Christ, but I think there is something that we can also take from Mary's heart. That Mary makes sense of all the things that are happening around her, and she ponders them. She takes it personally. And we should do the same as well. We shouldn't ignore what's happening around us. These things should move us to reflection, to meditation, to pondering, to storing up these things in our heart as Mary does. Mary had some great joy in her life, but Mary also had great suffering as well, great challenges. Mary had a sense from a very early stage that Jesus was going to die, that he was going to suffer, but maybe Mary didn't entirely know how this was going to happen. And here we have in this gospel today, Mary having this challenge of Jesus disappearing. They've gone up to Jerusalem for the Passover and they're heading home. And after a day, Jesus is gone. Joseph doesn't know where Jesus is. Mary doesn't know where Jesus is. And then they go searching for Jesus. In their time of loss and absence, they go searching for Jesus, which I think is a great model for all of us. When we feel alone, when we feel like things are falling apart, we should go searching for Jesus. And what does Mary and Joseph do? They realized they needed to be in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is one of those places that it's not just a physical place, it's seen as an eternal place. That we are searching not just for the city of Jerusalem today, but for the city of heaven. And so they go back to Jerusalem and they find Jesus there. When we find life is challenging, when we're away and we feel like we can't find Jesus, search for Jesus and search for the eternal Jerusalem. And we will then find Jesus again like Mary and Joseph have done. And then Mary brings these things to her heart deeply and travels with those for the rest of her life. Mary had individual moments of God, and she stores those experiences up in her heart and travels with those. And we're called to do that as well. The Christian life isn't always the day of Christmas. It's not always the day of Pentecost or the day of Easter. Sometimes we have other days that we feel like God's not even there. Mother Teresa said she'd often walk with the fact that she knew God was close even though she couldn't feel it. And she couldn't feel it. And so she stored up those experiences deep in her heart as she journeyed on in life. And we need to do the same as well. We have this knowledge, but we also have that personal closeness that Jesus has been in our lives and is in our life. And so we store this up in our hearts. Let us ponder the presence of Jesus into our hearts. Let's carry Jesus in our hearts. And let's take Mary, the Immaculate Mother, the Immaculate Heart, as a model for our lives as well. The Immaculate Heart of Mary,